It was hard to decide which news to start with since everything is so important right now, but one thing was clear. I need to start this video by offering my condolences to the families who lost loved ones in Florida. Hurricane Milton was expected to bring an unprecedented tragedy, but thankfully its intensity dropped at the last minute, just before landfall. However, it still caused millions of dollars in property damage. To all those affected, please accept my sincere sympathy. Now let's get into the most delicate issue on the table: Israel's imminent attack on Iran. Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, stated on Wednesday that the Israel Defense Forces IDF counterattack in response to Iran's October 1st attack will be significantly more devastating than the initial Iranian strike. Gallant's exact words were, "The Iranian attack was aggressive, but it didn't achieve the desired precision. In contrast, our counterattack will be lethal, accurate, and most importantly, surprising. They won't know what hit them, nor how it happened. They'll only see the consequences." Many of you might be wondering, why hasn't Israel attacked yet? Is there a delay, or is this the normal time it takes to plan such a decisive strike? Well, the answer is both. Here's the situation. Netanyahu has delayed Defense Minister Yoav Gallant's trip to Washington until President Biden gives the green light for the attack on Iran. Yes, you heard that right. Right now, we're waiting on the okay from the United States. Now, this doesn't mean Israel can't strike without Biden's approval, but we need to understand that this is not just a regular military operation. To launch an attack against Iran of the scale that's being discussed, Netanyahu needs the approval of the Israeli cabinet. And right now, several ministers are refusing to give the go-ahead until the U.S. gives its approval. This is not only to secure the backing of the world's biggest superpower, but also to ensure that the U.S. doesn't switch sides after the attack. On the other hand, Trump didn't hesitate to express his full support for Israel. Here's what he had to say.
As you know, Hamas has now been severely degraded, and Hezbollah has recently been dealt very, very powerful, crippling blows. With strength and the right leadership, the dawn of a new, more harmonious Middle East is finally within our reach. It's finally within our reach. But you have no idea the role that the United States has to play in order to get that ball over the goal line. We have to get it into the end zone. And if it's not the United States, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We have to be able to get it done and get it done properly and get back to a wonderful, beautiful way of life. You have to be able to do it. You have to finish what you began, and you have to finish it quickly. So here is my commitment to you on the solemn date. I will not allow the Jewish state to be threatened with destruction. I will not allow another Holocaust of the Jewish people. I will not allow a jihad to be waged on America or our allies. And I will support Israel's right to win its war on terror, and it has to win it fast. No matter what happens, it has to go fast. Thank you.
While the attack on Iran is being scheduled, the Gulf states, including Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar, have decided not to allow Israel to use their airspace for any strikes on Iran. This position has been communicated to Washington, according to sources close to the Gulf governments. These countries are well aware that Israel's attack has the potential to cripple Iran's entire oil infrastructure, which would obviously affect the interests and finances of all Gulf nations. Now let's switch to another battleground: Israel's war against Hezbollah. You might have seen headlines saying Hezbollah calls for an unconditional ceasefire. Well, let me give you the context to understand what that really means. First, we need to remember that Hezbollah attacked Israel on October 8, 2023, with a media flag they were waving, saying, "Now, there will be no peace in northern Israel until there is peace in Gaza." Well, Hezbollah's so-called leader, who doesn't actually want to be the leader because he's too scared to lead, has now said in his latest statement that Hezbollah is calling for a truce with Israel. The U.S. confirmed this Tuesday that Hezbollah has changed its tone and is asking for a ceasefire with the Israeli military because it's at a disadvantage after the recent bombings that have eliminated much of Hezbollah's leadership, including their leader Hassan Nasrallah, his replacement, and his replacement's replacement. In short, the only thing Hezbollah has conceded is dropping their demand that the ceasefire in Lebanon must also include Gaza, a condition they've been trying to impose for the past year. In simpler terms, Hezbollah is sending a clear message to their pals in Gaza. Good luck, everyone. You're on your own. We all know that this call from Hezbollah isn't a genuine attempt to start diplomatic negotiations to resolve the conflict. Let's not forget, we're talking about the world's largest terrorist group, and here's the kicker. There's no one left to talk to. Hezbollah's entire political leadership has been wiped out, and now no one wants to take the vacant leadership seat. In addition, Lebanon's foreign minister, Abdallah Abu Habib, said last week that Nasrallah had approved a ceasefire with Israel just before his death. Yeah, right. That's a story only they believe. As for Israel's response to this so-called ceasefire request, well, I think last night's actions speak for themselves. The IDF carried out 110 airstrikes against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon just today. And just a few hours ago, in a precision strike in the heart of Beirut, Lebanon's capital, the IDF eliminated Wafiq Safa, Nasrallah's brother-in-law and Hezbollah's defense minister. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions about Israel's position on this matter. Before I continue, I want to take a moment to thank each of you, the active subscribers of this channel, for your support of Israel, for your prayers, and for supporting this channel. I appreciate every like you leave on the videos. And if you're not a subscriber yet, just hit the subscribe button. It's free. Also, be sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, Lebanon is facing a golden opportunity right now. After decades of oppression and harassment by Hezbollah, which has been eroding the country's sovereignty, the political forces in Lebanon are starting to push for the return of a president. According to Lebanon's constitution, the president must be a Maronite Christian, elected with parliamentary support. But Hezbollah and its allies have blocked this since Michel Aoun left office 2 years ago. As always, I save the best for last. This time it's about none other than Pedro Sanchez, Spain's prime minister, who met with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. This marks the first meeting between the two leaders since Spain officially recognized Palestine as a state on May 28th, in an initiative coordinated with Ireland and Norway. On Thursday, Mahmoud Abbas stated that Israel should be stripped of its UN membership for not accepting a two-state solution and denying the return of Palestinian refugees to their homes. Stay tuned for more updates on this conflict. So much is happening every day. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and don't leave without giving a like. And of course, I'll see you in the comments. See you next time.